Is fear holding you back from the life you have versus the life you want to live? Questions that need answers. Hey loves, welcome back to Real Talk with Jen. I'm Jen. Welcome to my channel if you are new, welcome to my new subscribers, and what up to my OGs. I was talking to my mom recently, and she was kind of going on and on about how fear has been holding back our family unit, as like the immediate family and the family as a whole. How we don't do certain things because we like to stay where it's safe and content, and we can recognize what's, things are predictable, which is ironic because I'm a part of a family that is very much in the word, like super Christian. It's rooted in us as a family. So it's interesting that fear plays such a big part in who we are when we're such a faith-based family, but also we're human. So it's natural. It happens to everybody. All of us go through these seasons of just like something is holding you back and you don't know why, when you know exactly what you want. And I totally agree with her, because I know in times in my life where I was kind of moving scared, or those moments you talk yourself out of something that you know you want, but you're just scared of the potential rejection. You're scared that you won't be able to do it. You're scared that you won't do it well, even if you do it. Like all of these things. And for me, that usually looks like a job. Typically, it's like, there's a statistic out there about how women won't apply to a job unless they damn near have every box checked before they apply, whereas men, not even half, and they'll apply. And not only will they apply, they get the damn job. So it's fear that has held us back, I feel like, in our careers, in our minds, all of these things. For me, for sure, it's been in my career, not feeling like I was good enough for a certain role, or can I even do this, or that imposter syndrome that creeps up on you out of nowhere, knowing who you are, knowing your degrees, knowing all that stuff, and you still question yourself. That happens to me a lot. Also, I feel like in the past, when there were situations where I felt like I should have spoke up, I could have spoke up, but I was scared of potentially the repercussions of speaking up. And those I always regret, because that is not the person I am today. I'm gonna speak up every single time. Especially in the corporate environment. They hate to see me coming, because they always are like, I wonder what Jennifer is gonna say. Because that's just how I move. I can't sit with people telling me things that don't make sense and trying to get me to believe it makes sense. Like, I'm not good at that. I know for some people, at least some of my friends and family, it's wanting to move away or wanting to do something different, but being afraid of what was on the other side of that, which are all valid fears. But the reality is, you can't have faith and fear at the same time. And quite frankly, y'all know the saying, do it, but just do it scared. Like, you can be scared, but still do it, because at least you can say, I tried and this was the result, as opposed to living your whole life wondering, what would have ever happened had I moved to Hawaii like I wanted to? What's the worst that can happen? You fail, it doesn't go well, and then you regroup, because as long as we have breath in our bodies, we have another chance to make it right. We have another chance to make a better choice. So that fear is almost like not real, and it's something that I think all of us collectively need to work on as we continue to grow as humans. So I want to talk to you all about some of the things that I do to help me kind of face my fears, work through it, push through it anyway, knowing that I'm hesitant about it. One is just doing it slowly. Whatever it is that you're scared of, do it bite-sized. It's so funny because I find myself always saying these type of things, like compartmentalize and doing things bite-sized, but it really does help. For instance, if you're afraid of public speaking, don't let the first thing you do to get over that fear be talking to 5,000 people or 5,000 of your peers, or your boss's boss's boss, a whole room full of people that could ruin your career. Like, that's not the time to start. The time to start is small. Do it in front of the group of coworkers that you trust. Do it in front of your family. Do it in front of a camera. See those things about yourself that you don't see in person. When you play a camera back, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when you play a camera back, you will see all of yourself. You will see the things about you you don't like. You'll see how you say a lot. Y'all have no idea how much I cut out of these videos. You'll see all the things that you probably want to work on and have the opportunity to, because you're looking back at yourself. So there are bite-sized opportunities for us to get over the things that we fear without feeling like, okay, I'm afraid of spiders, which I know is a very minuscule example, I'm talking more, obviously more big life things, but a spider, I'm scared of spiders, and then going into a room full of spiders, that's just gonna freak you out and probably traumatize you. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about maybe you really, really wanna move. Do some research. Where do you wanna move? What does that look like? What does that look like for your family? Go visit that place. Go for a weekend trip. Walk around, get the vibe of people. Do bite-sized things to get you to a point where you feel like, okay, what am I so afraid of? That's another thing, y'all. Ask yourself, what are you actually afraid of? I know for me, oftentimes as it relates to my career, the thing that I've been afraid of is actually succeeding. Isn't that weird? I mean, I don't know. Let me know if I'm the only one, but there have been times where I'm more afraid of succeeding and like actually getting the job or getting the thing, whatever it is, than I am not getting it. Like, the idea that I succeed means like, oh my God, I actually have to do this. And what if it gets really big? And what if a lot of people start knowing me? And what if people start talking to me that I don't know? Y'all know I'm an introvert slash extrovert slash ambivert. What if it works? Sometimes the question of it working is the thing that is actually the scariest, because then you have to deal with it in a real way. Now you wanted to do something that was like, oh, I'm gonna just do this little business. And now that little business has turned into a nationwide demand. You have people calling you. You have people wanting to do interviews with you. You have people that are like chasing you down, and it's like, oh my God, I did not mean for this. I know a lot of people feel that way on social media. Oftentimes someone's video might go viral, but they weren't ready for that video to go viral. They weren't ready for people to be watching their life like that. They were cool with, you know, the 100 to 200 views that they usually got. But now you have 20 million people looking at you, having comments and all these things. Sometimes we're not ready for success. And that has been a fear of mine, I think, probably my whole life. It's like, Dad, what if I can do it? Not what if I can't do it? What if I actually do it? And it is scary. But when that happens, that really you just have to ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen if this works? And you'll probably find that the answer is, it probably won't be so bad. It probably will elevate you and be a blessing. And more importantly, be a blessing to others as well. Another thing I do to try to get a hold of my fears when I feel it creeping in, sit back and try to get a control of like irrational thoughts. Like I definitely feel like I have irrational thoughts because I tend to think of things in every way. So it's like, all right, what if this happens? But then what if this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens? And now all of a sudden I've created an entire universe. I've created an entire storyline around every single thing that could go wrong, every single scenario. I've tried at least to think of every single scenario in which what I am proposing could go wrong. And naturally that is going to discourage you. So when those thoughts start to creep in is where we need to like stomp them down right away, immediately, because largely those are the thoughts that stop you from starting in the first place. I try to make sure that the thoughts that I have are based on facts and not like my assumptions of what someone else thinks or someone else said that I didn't hear. Or I try very much to get to a place where I'm not basing things off of things that aren't reality. If you didn't hear it with your own ears and see it with your own eyes, you're making it up. And that will continue to bloom and grow and bloom and grow. If you let the devil plant a seed in your head, it will grow. He will water that same seed and water it and water it and water it. And it'll be the only thing that you think of. And you're not even considering the fact that you have a whole beautiful garden on the other side of your brain somewhere, because all you're thinking about is the seed that was planted that is quite frankly untrue. But it's enough to stop you in your tracks, which is exactly what the devil wants. In doing that, you will never reach your full capacity. You'll never be the person that you are meant to be when you stop at 5 when you're supposed to be at 15. And 5 might not be so bad. And that's the other thing, contentment. Contentment will have you staying at 5. That isn't so bad, but that was never what you were supposed to be at. You were always supposed to be at 15, but you keep stopping yourself because you keep questioning yourself because of fear. We have to push past the fear and push toward our faith. Whatever that looks like for you. I know everybody is not a believer, but you have to have faith in something. in something or someone. You have to, because in the world we live in, I'm unsure how you're keeping sane if you don't. Also, on like a physical level, I just try to I try to breathe, have some quiet time, try to empty my thoughts, like physically just sit there and do nothing, think nothing, take deep breaths. I always tell my kids to take deep breaths, and these days they practice that at school quite a bit, where they tell the children, take a deep breath, you know, the mindfulness of things. That's how it works at school these days. It certainly was that way when we were in school. For my millennials out there, 100% was not that way. I remember in high school, actually, they used to paddle people, like literally take a paddle and like whip people. It was wild. But those days are long gone, and now when kids are having tantrums and are having a hard time, largely you'll find people telling them, take a deep breath, count to 5. All of those things sound juvenile, and they sound like they might not work, but the reality is our body does respond to the slowdown. Your heart rate slows down, everything slows down, your mind starts to clear. You do not do things when you're angry. You shouldn't do things when you're scared or moving off of anxiety either. You need to take a step back, let your body calm down, let your mind calm down, so that you can think clearly and calmly. And I do that a lot. It's funny because I find in my life that because I am so calm about things, people tend to think I don't care about it, but I do care. But I am not about to frazzle myself, frazzle everybody around me. If I'm running around scared, acting a fool, what purpose am I serving? I'm certainly not helping myself. It freaks your kids out to see you acting like that. And in general, it's just not helpful. In work environments also, like I literally got pulled into an office one time. I was leading a team, and it was some things going down with the client, and it was a mess, but I was calm. I was chill, I was calm. I was not letting it like have me in a space where I was ready to pull my hair out and was being nasty to people and all that, because you can't ask people to work for you when you're being nasty to them. Like they're definitely not gonna do it. So I always keep myself calm, but to the point that one of the people that reported to me told my boss that I didn't care because my calmness was off-putting to them. They felt that I wasn't frazzled enough and I wasn't acting crazy and pulling. Baby, I'm not gonna do that. I am not gonna do that in any situation, personal or professional. I'm not about to walk around like Boo Boo the Fool, screaming, crying, and doing all that, because for what? For what? And then you at that point, you're feeding into whatever it is that's going on, and I'm just like, that's not me. And I would implore others to try to do the same. That moment to try to get yourself back to calm when fear and anxiety and all those things are happening. And it can be as simple as just stopping and taking a deep breath and keeping your voice down and not letting your blood pressure rise makes a huge difference. I'm very lucky to have an amazing husband that I'm able to talk to about anything. Like he's actually, people always say like my spouse or my husband, my wife is my best friend, and it sounds corny and all that stuff, but in my case, like my husband literally is my best friend. That is my boy. Like I love him to death, and I tell him everything. We talk about everything. So if I'm in a space of being scared about something, I know that if I want some perspective or an objective view of it, or also a man's view of it, like am I in my feelings too much, I always go to him, and I'm able to sometimes get talked off a ledge, sometimes troubleshoot together. It looks different for everybody, but everyone has someone, one person that you could go to and just talk to about whatever it is that's giving you anxiety, whatever it is that's making you feel fearsome, whatever it is that is holding you back and making you question yourself. A lot of times people are the ones that'll help you get across that valley. God speaks to us through people. Like some things don't make sense, and all of a sudden a random person might say something to you that just hits your chest, and you're like, how could they have known? God literally speaks through people. So we have to be open to what others have to say and how it could impact our life positively. Overall, I think it's just important to like take small steps and kind of celebrate yourself along the way. Like I'm somebody that will do things and it'll be checked off a list and I completely forget about it. I'm on to the next thing. Sometimes you need to take time to say like, man, I did that. Like, pat yourself on the back when you do something that you know you're afraid of doing, that you've been historically afraid of doing, that you feel like, you know, imposter syndrome is creeping up, or maybe you're not good enough, or maybe you're scared of success, that it might go too good. What happens if it goes too good? We need to sit back, give ourselves some grace, and really give ourselves a chance to be the people that we actually want to be. Like, we get one life. This is it, y'all. Like, literally, this is it. We don't have no extra lives. This is literally it. So the thing that you want to do the thing. Do it. Do it. Do it with honor. Do it with grace. Do it with patience for yourself. Do it fearlessly. Do it with faith, and do it boldly, and see where it lands you. It's a lot of people walking around here fearless that really are the most evil, demonic people on earth, fearless as ever, and winning. They have no fear. They don't question nothing, and they winning. And at church, my pastor always says it's people that are non-believers that are using godly principles to get ahead in life, and people that are believers are not applying those same principles, and you're stagnant. And it's true. Like, these people that are way ahead of the game, fearlessly rich, all these things, you look at them and you're like, you're a horrible person. You're a horrible person that doesn't deserve this. But they went at it. They went at it, and they got it. And it's like, how much more could you? We have the opportunity to show our future selves like, man, I remember when I did that thing scared, and now look at my business now. Now look at my children now. Now look at my home now. Now look at my health now. You know, I know it's a lot of us scared to start that diet, boy. It's hard. But start. It's scary on the other side, but like, what if you're able to stick to it this time? Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. We can do it. We can do it scared also. I want y'all to tell me down in the comments, don't be scared either. Tell me in the comments the thing that has been holding you back, the thing that you've been kind of fearsome about, the thing that you feel like you're trying to get over that hump. And we're gonna work on this together, because Lord knows I have mine as well. And I hope that you can take some of these tips, apply it to your life, and grow. Like, we get only one life, y'all. So now is the time, not tomorrow, not next year's resolution, no, we doing it now. Let's work through our fears. Let's push past our fears. Let's move on faith and faith alone. I cannot wait to see what you all put in the comments. Be honest with yourselves. Be honest with yourselves. That's important too. What is the thing that's holding you back? What are you afraid of that is impacting your life? Even if you don't put it in the comments, be honest with yourself and start tackling that thing in small bites. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are well. I hope your family's well. I hope you have a good week, a positive week, a week where you push past your fears, that you move with faith and faith alone. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.